Hi, I'm Yolanda Zor and I'm here with Amali de Alwis, who is from Code First Girls. Hi Amali, welcome. Tell me a little bit about Code First Girls and what you guys do.
Hi Yolanda. So yes, Code First Girls, we focus on getting women into tech. And we do them in a few different ways. One is we teach people how to code, so we actually run free as well as paid coding courses. So we run paid coding courses for professional women, paid coding courses for men and women at companies. And with receipts from that, we plug that back into running free coding courses for young women across the UK, so late turns, early 20s. We also do events, so we have personal and professional development events, so these sort of help women understand what is it like to work in the tech industry, what are the people like, what is the industry like, and then we also do advisory work with companies on tech talent recruitment and retention.
And so you talk about working with professional women, so like doctors, lawyers,
handbag designers, astrophysicists, people who are being processed as refugees. We have had everything in between. And it really kind of, I guess, focuses on this idea that these days there is no such thing as a non-tech business. So whatever the industry you're going into, actually understanding a little bit more about technology, understanding what these world foundations look like is really important for everyone.
So yeah, you think, I guess you think of coding and you think of, that sounds like something really techy and hard and, something that a software engineer does. How is it applicable to, women in different professions?
Sure. I guess if you think about any sort of industry working in these days, so, we have a lot of people who, let's say, come from comms and digital marketing backgrounds, people who come from legal backgrounds, people who come from medicine, people who come from, working in companies who are looking at, let's say, telcos. And all of those industries are impacted by technologies. So whether it's, having websites, whether it's about the technical products, whether it's about the services that you work with, trying to connect to people, trying to connect to your customers, inevitably these days that's done through some sort of technical platform. So understanding how that works, even if you don't want to be a developer, working with technical colleagues, working with external suppliers, it really just helps people to build confidence and really understand what these foundations are like.
Why is it important, do you think, in the tech industry to encourage more women? Do you think right now the environment lends itself to more women coming in, or do you think it's been a largely male-dominated industry?
It's a really tricky one, because actually if you look at the very early days of computers, actually a lot of those people involved were women. So you look at people like the Dame Stephanie Shirley's, who set up these amazing companies, doing very, very early software on punch cards. Her company actually ran pretty much entirely with women doing punch cards on their kitchen tables and writing programs. So it's a real shame to have seen that change, and I've got to be honest, I think we're not really seeing that going in a positive direction. So when we've been pulling together some data recently for our newly launched 2020 campaign, which aims to teach 20,000 women how to code by the end of 2020, I went and pulled ONS data, so data from the Office of National Statistics, and I went and pulled UCAS data. ONS says that of the people working in the tech and telco industry, only 3.9% of those are women working as engineers and software developers, and that's down from about 10% in 2007.
Okay.
And those numbers aren't reflected in our universities either. So last year, 2017, we had 27,400 people who applied to do a computer science degree. Of those, 3,770 were women, so less than 14%.
Yeah.
So we're really not seeing the numbers coming through, which we should do, especially considering that the UK digital and tech industries are worth 170 billion to the UK economy. It's growing 50% faster than the rest of the economies. And when we're looking at talent pipeline, we're looking down the barrel of Brexit. It's already getting harder to find tech talent. We need to find and we need to train these people. So really training women is a really important part of that.
And tell me a little bit about your personal journey and how you came to being at Code First Girls.
So I was always, I guess, one of those kids who just liked building things. So I say that I had a sort of left brain, right brain argument. I love the creative side of things, but I also really love the tech. So my heroes were people like, Amy Johnson, who was an aviator, but I also really loved, people like MacGyver, and I used to run around with my little pocket knife and kind of go and have adventures. But really it was around saying, look, what do you want to build? And it wasn't about saying, I didn't have a gender neutral childhood, I had a gender balanced childhood. So I had Barbie dolls, and I'd make them with little waistcoats, and then I'd have my electronics set, and I'd make, Meccano cars and all of these kinds of things. But it was really about using imagination. And that kind of, I guess, led me on to my first set of studies where I studied engineering. Then I decided that, I couldn't see myself being an engineer, but actually I wanted to do something hugely creative and went into a degree in shoe design. Actually then realized that I'd really done the same degree twice, because whether you're manufacturing aeroplane propellers or shoes, you go through exactly the same design process, R&D, prototyping, point of sale, all of that sort of things. But I guess what really interested me at the end of that, which I realized, was the thinking behind products and services. So why do you create something? Why is it fit for purpose? How does the consumer look? What is the market like? And then that led me to, I guess, work more around the tech side. I joined a research company. I did some really interesting projects looking at mobile applications, SME payment apps, moved to a consulting firm. And then that kind of led me, I guess, working to come across Code First Girls, where I was sort of doing a lot more mentoring as I was becoming more senior in my roles, and also doing something in an industry which I was really passionate about. So it was kind of a perfect combination of helping people to achieve, which I was very, felt very strongly about, but also doing so in a way in an industry that I was really keen to work in and was very excited about.
Excellent. And just really quickly, tell me a bit about what you do in Ireland and how people can get involved.
So we've actually been in Ireland probably for about 2 years now. So as mentioned, we run our free coding courses for young women. We actually have courses which are in Dublin, as well as in the Republic of Ireland, in Belfast. We host a number of those courses out of universities. So Dublin Technology here in Dublin actually run our courses. We're looking to grow that, so we're having conversations with companies about hosting more general courses which are open to all types of young women. And we also do events here as well. So we've had some really great events with some of our partners. So companies like Bank of America, Merrill Lynch, who are based here and have a real presence here to help women understand what is it like working in fintech, cybersecurity, or how do the financial markets work and how does technology play a role there. So really, wanting to just get Irish women very excited and Northern Irish women very excited about working in technology and the amazing careers that you can have there.